Mic check. Good. Not clipping. My sound. Where's my sound? Is my sound working? My sound is working. Sick. Firstly, if you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. Okay, we're gonna just ignore that and hope it goes away eventually. I think we're good. Okay. Secondly, I apologize for my radio silence recently, but shit's been going down. Not much I can do about it. But yeah, with that out of the way, here's my remix of Miss the Rage. And I mean, like, I'm just gonna call it a remix. It's not really a remix because I only used one piece of Trippy's vocals. Like, I guess it's like an instrumental remix. I'll call it an instrumental remix. Anyway, let's get on with the breakdown already. Here for the beginning is the original cymatics future bass loop. And if you reverse that, you get Miss the Rage. And so I added an EQ, which is like a bandpass EQ, and an auto filter to give the song a pace from the get-go. And then I layered that with my own sawtooth synth made in Vital. And a choir just playing 2 notes throughout the whole thing. Here's where the drums come in. It's just a pretty standard trap beat. And while the drums are going, later on this arpeggiated melody comes in that I also made in Vital. And then that brings us to the build-up. Here this other sawtooth that's a lot more intense. And then for this other plucky one with the auto filter on it, I just move the cutoff up. Yeah, it kind of opens up as it goes. And then for the bass and the kick drum for the buildup, I automated a high pass cutoff. Classic white noise riser and some tom fills, and that brings us into the drop section. For the drop, I brought the sample in again with a less intense EQ and no auto filter, layered with my own sawtooth pad from Vital, the same one as the buildup. That ducking is because I sidechained both of these to the kick drum for the drop. Brought the sub bass back in, and I noticed that you couldn't really hear the melody anymore because of how I processed it. So I took the stem for the melody that's also in the future bass pack and did some other processing to that. I think I put a microphaser and some reverb on it. Down here is the drum loop for the drop. Just reverbed out, open hats, and a kick and snare, because that's all you need. Next up, for this second verse section here, it's exactly the same as the first one, except I brought in an 808 instead of the sub bass, and just that same choir as the beginning. There's some volume automation on the 808 to make it bouncier. It cuts out after the second hit. You can see there it muted. The second build-up is exactly the same as the first one, with just this cut of Trippy Red's vocal I forgot to mention. And then the second drop is the same as the first one, except for a couple things. First of which being these vocal chops that I layered with every snare. And then also this reversed open hi-hat before every other snare. So every other snare kind of swells in. You can hear those vocal chops just to give the snare some more interest. And then for the last section, I brought in the sample completely unprocessed, brought the 808 back, kept the vocal chops but turned down the reverb and volume a little bit, and then brought in this other drum loop that's a lot more faithful to the original. So this last section of the song is really just a remix of the original. That was the breakdown for my Miss the Rage instrumental remix, we'll call it. If I should release this, let me know. And here's the finished thing.
See it, damn thing.